Have y'all seen the Barbie movie yet? Yeah, okay, lie, yes or some no's. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm very excited to see it. Mainly because of what it's doing to white women. This is crazy. This is wild. What is happening? Like, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what's happening in the movie, but white women are walking out militant as hell. This shit is Malcolm X for white women. This is fucking crazy. Dude, all of my white female friends that walk out of the movie are like, maybe we should do something about the Supreme Court. I'm like, jeez. What is happening in the movie? It is wild. This shit is like 300 for blondes that were in sororities. This is crazy. They just walk out of the movie like, I wish a fucking man would try to give me directions right now. I wish. I'm like, oh, okay. God damn. That's wild. I used to be a very chill person. Nothing ever bothered me. Nothing ever got to me. Everything rolled off my shoulder. Turns out I was just 17. I should have been chill. I wasn't paying any rent yet or anything. Now I'm in the real world. I'm very upset. This is horrible. And it sucks because when you're at every stage of your life, you feel stress. Every part of your life you felt stress. But as a kid, you think you know stress. Like you're sure that you know real stress as a little kid. Most stressed out person I ever met in my entire life was in elementary school. We were both 6, and this is the most stressed out to date. I've never met anybody like this. This kid was walking around like he had a full pension he was about to lose. Like he would crush his juice boxes when he got done with just so much like he had a mortgage. It was crazy. I'll never forget this. There was one time I went to a Montessori school, so we got nap time a little longer than other kids. And I remember we were both 6 years old, laying there. It was nap time, and nap time was the only time the teachers got a real break from us. But they needed all of us to be asleep, and he was just eyes wide, looking at the ceiling, thinking about an annuity or something. Just like, and sure enough, teacher walks up to him very sweetly. I remember because I was laying next to him. She's like, Is there anything I can get you? Or like, do you need an extra pillow or something? And like, I wasn't asleep, but I was dozing. You know, there wasn't anything on my 6-year-old mind. I was chilling. You know? But what he said woke me right up. It was the wildest. So she's like, do you need anything? Is there anything I can get you? And he turns to her and said, naps don't help when your soul is tired. So, whoa! Little man, what have you been through? What's happening right now? Oh, it's terrifying. It was crazy. I went to college for design, and it's funny how when you're graduating college, right at the end is when they tell you could have not done any of this. It's like the dean is like shaking your hand and handing your diploma and whispering in your ear. It's like, you didn't have to. And I remember I was just looking for any job that I could get out of college, and I started working at a grocery store. And I told them that I majored in design, and they were like, oh, you can design how we put up the grapes. And the grocery store that I worked at, I was in Chicago at the time, and it was a horrible neighborhood. It was very bad. This was like an epically bad neighborhood. We had so many different characters because there was a clinic at one end, like it was like a methadone clinic, so a lot of people that were on or trying to get off drugs would just be around the store. And then there was also a mental facility, so the people who got out of the mental facility but didn't have anywhere to go would just hang out at the grocery store. So I was constantly in danger. I got used to it. And I remember we had this guy, he was a pigeon man. And my man, I don't know if he was homeless or not, but all I know is he filled the parking lot with pigeons. Pigeons love this dude so much. This nigga was usher for pigeons. I remember one time there was this guy walking into the store that, I don't know exactly what he said because I was putting up the cart, so I overheard something rude being said, but I don't know exactly what it was. But he was like, why don't you get a job, you piece of shit? Like, said something that was way too mean to just be passing somebody to walk in a grocery store. It was wild. Pigeon Man didn't do anything, just stood there chill. Got a couple pigeons here, a couple pigeons here. Just let it go. Rolled her after shoulder. And then the guy's walking out of the store. And this is going to make me sound crazy. I'm just telling you what I saw. All right? Basically, that guy walked past Pigeon Man with his cart full of groceries. And then Pigeon Man looked at one of the pigeons and went, and then the pigeon flew into the back of that dude's head. And I'm not saying this man talks to pigeons. I'm just saying he did that and then the bird did that. That's all. I'm just relaying information. Don't look at me like I'm crazy. I'm just, he went, and then the pigeon kamikaze the back of that dude's head. Almost knocked that man out. It was crazy. And then that's the other thing, too, is that there were so many characters that worked there, but then nobody warned me. So I just started working there. But when you work in a bad neighborhood, they don't make the people that come and frequent the store part of the training. They should do that. They should be like, all right, look, on Wednesday, it's going to be a nigga in a dress. He gonna walk in, he gonna start fighting everybody, all right? So you just want to take cover, right? They don't do any of that. They're just like, all right, and then this is how you fill out your timesheet. Like, they act like it's a normal place. It was not a normal place. And so there was one day where this dude, this dude came in, walked in very casually, stopped right after the sliding doors, took off his shirt, took off his pants, and went, I'ma fuck everybody. And then everyone started leaving the store. Everyone casually started filing out like it was time to go. No one protested. No one even stood to see if he meant it. Everyone was just like, all right, should have got here earlier. I was ringing up a woman in my line, and this old, 80-year-old woman, I'm not even quoting her, she was like, fuck those grapes, not getting fucked today. And just keeps walking out. It was insane. Because then this is the worst part, too. They never had good security guards there. So then the man screams, right? And apparently he just does this. That's what he does it so much that customers were like, this is when we have to leave. This is not, the bread's not worth it. It's fine, you know what I mean? And then, all right. So I don't know the name of it, so I can't put them on blast or anything, but they used this security guard service that was the worst security guard service I've ever seen in my life. I don't know where they were getting these security guards, because these people, not only were they not trained to they didn't secretly know Krav Maga or something like that, they also weren't big. So then this man rolls in, he's like, I'm gonna fuck everybody, and then everyone starts leaving, and then the security guard, who I hadn't even noticed that day until this moment, because then I started scanning the grocery store for him. Security guard, I see him in the corner of my eye, he's walking towards me, and he's over here hobbling towards me. My man is 76 years old with a bad knee and just I think a metal ankle. I don't know what was going on with his legs, and he walked over and whispered in my ear, he's like, can you say something to him? I was like, can I say something? I was like, can I say something? I just repeated it back until he answered something. I was like, can I say something to him? Can I say something to him? Can I say that? And finally he's like, look, young blood, I asked them to give me a gun and they said no. All right? They know I can't fight. I would have cleared all this out if I had my pistol with me. And then we just started, because the dude is just walking throughout the store in his underwear. And so we're just conversing about what to do. We're literally well, I'm not, look, they pay me to put up the grapes. I'm not really here for all this other stuff. And then he's this man is genuinely floating with me. He's like, you think I only live 12-minute walk away? should I go get my gun? Like, and then we can just, look, I can go get my gun. We can act like you found it, right? And I was like, no, why would I find your gun that's at your house? And then my man said, he said it was a 12-minute walk, but he's like, but you know I walk a little slow, so you're gonna have to hold him down for about half an hour. Because, you know, with this leg, you know, it's been troubling me. It's been raining and shit, so I can't move like I used to. So then I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna get the gun. I was like, it takes you 30 minutes to do a 12-minute walk? He's like, yeah, so it's gonna be an hour. Like, it's gonna be quite a while before I can come. But as soon as I pop him, I bet he'll never be back here again. I was like, are you even a good shot? Like, like, at a certain point, you start considering it. My man is just like walking down the aisles. There's no customers in the store. He left, but he never came back. Like, I don't know what happened to him. I think he quit. I think he quit when he got home. I think he hobbled home, and then he was like, nah. You all were great. Thank you so much.
Keep it going. Keep it going. Josh Johnson, ladies and gentlemen.
Make it loud for the very funny Josh Johnson.
I don't know if y'all saw it yet, but Justin Timberlake got arrested. Justin Timberlake got arrested for a DWI in what he was in the Hamptons. How fast do you have to be going as a white man in the Hamptons to get pulled over? Because I was reading the story, and this man gets pulled over, and then I guess his friends noticed that he left or whatever, so then they also left, and then they saw him getting pulled over, so they pulled up, and they were trying to like beg the cop to cut him a break. They're like, you know, he's I don't know if he was close to home, but they were like making excuses for him. And in my head, even in that moment, I was like, why didn't y'all give him a ride? Like, that's... Justin Timberlake is so rich. How do you have all that money and you don't have a driver? That's crazy. That's so irresponsible. You got all the NSYNC money. Could have hired one of them to drive. I was reading the story. It was heartbreaking. Not even as a, you know, I don't know what's happening. I truly don't. I truly have no idea. But like, that shit sounded like an attack. That was... God, who makes that their alarm? God damn. That's the most savage shit. That's it feels like my high school bully came to the show. That is wild. No, you're fine. You know, life happens, but you gotta pick a different one, because that feels so crazy. Because the first time I heard it, I was like, maybe I'm a little too hot in this hoodie. Maybe I'm about to faint because I feel like I'm outside right now. And then I heard it again, I was like, nah, that's crickets. That's... Jeez, what? I didn't know we had beef like that. You were over here like... And I'm gonna sit in the front too. I got his ass. No. No, I got him. Damn, no, it feels like an ex paid you. That is so wild. No, I'm gonna wait till he think he making one of his little points. Nah, I got his ass. Oh, God. Oh. No. I don't know. I feel weird about it. I feel like maybe you look at Justin Timberlake and whatever hex Britney Spears put on is working. It's working overtime. And fame is a very interesting thing. Fame is a mystery. It really is, because Justin Timberlake is doing an arena tour. A whole arena tour. But when he got pulled over and they asked him to step out of the car, the cop didn't know who he was. The cop didn't know who he was because the cop was too young. And I don't know about you, but that hurt me. I was reading the article and it said that the cop was too young to know, and I think I got 3 wrinkles on my knuckles. Right then, I was like, No, it was absolutely insane. Doesn't know who he was. Like, if only Justin had been pulled over by a single mom of 2. You know what I mean? Just a millennial single mom of 2. She would have been like, I'll give you a ride. Come on, Justin. No, put the lights on and everything. Woo, woo, we gotta get Justin home. Then they took that man to jail to take a picture. That picture, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's not an album cover. That face that Justin made is the most encapsulating face of a man in trouble I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? Like you can see in his eyes, he thinking about how he'll have to call Jessica. Whoa. That was wild. And then this is my conspiracy theory. There's nothing to back up what I'm saying. There's not a shred of evidence, and there's not a word from anyone that backs up what I'm saying. But I think, okay, do y'all remember Justin? You remember that decade that Justin wanted to be black? Do you remember that? Do you remember that decade that Justin was like, y'all remember that, right? That I feel like at first when he got there and they flashed the picture, and also I'm sure that they turned the brightness up extra on mug shots, because like people who you could tell were ready don't look ready when they take the picture. That thing is so bright, it must be prolonged, make you open your eyes to be like, huh. Like it's. I think after he took the picture and he's also sobering up a bit, he was like, wait. This is just street cred. Let me go ahead and milk it, right? Because there have been varying reports on whether or not Justin was handcuffed, right? And personally, my conspiracy, I don't think he was. I feel like Justin was like, look, I know I'm about to go, but can you cuff me real quick? And the cop was like, what? It's like, can you cuff me real quick? Like, just, you know, there's gonna be people waiting out there. Can you cuff me real quick? And he's like, I don't even know you. Like, please just do it. He's like, I'm not gonna do that, but I'll just stand in front of the door, hold the door open. He was like, okay, all right. And then he walked out, and if you look at the thing, he's got his hands clasped together, but you don't see any like loose chain dangling. And when you zoom into the picture, it looked like a little bit of leather on that. Like, that's a bracelet.
That's abrasive, but then JT over here doing his best Malcolm X impression. My man. Another black man locked up. Oh. Yeah. Actually, okay. Did y'all see? Did y'all see the white woman that got in trouble for saying the N-word? I know you said which one. Okay, fair enough. Okay. I say the because this was the for me. It's like other people were saying it, people were saying it all the time, but this one felt especially crazy, so I followed the story because it is captivating. Okay, so basically, okay, where do I even start? There's a thing called trad wife. Now, trad wife is short for traditional wife, right? Trad wife is like this content thing that they do on TikTok. It's spilled over to Instagram a little bit, and it's basically women doing like stuff around the house while telling women to be better women, right? It's just like, why don't you be a lady while she makes a pie or something? I don't get it. It's not for me. I'm not who watches it. But basically, there was this young white woman that was over here cooking something. It didn't look done. And maybe it was done. Maybe she's bad at it. I don't know. But it did not look done. But then she's talking about her friends, and then she says, because then some of my friends out here are just like, out here dating these guys and, broke ass niggas, right? And she says it without missing a beat. She says it like you're not gonna hear it, right? So then, of course, everyone who saw this, like, it started this frenzy online, right? And so there were all these people, she did it on TikTok, there was all these people commenting, replying, what's wrong with you? What are you doing? Are you trolling? All stuff like that, right? And then she makes another video, and she's like, look, I made a video earlier that offended a community or something, and like, and I've really listened to the feedback, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really give a care. Like, I don't know. It's like, so then they found her job, right? Which is crazy because you a trad wife. Why you working? Why? You know what I mean? Why are you? You're supposed to be a traditional. Why are you working at all? You can't trad wife on the side. You can't. There's no such thing as halfway crooks. You know what I mean? You gotta be all in or all out, right? And so then they found her job, then they got her fired from her job, right? So then everyone was like talking about how, she clearly got fired, even though they don't say her name. They issued a press release because why else would they do it? And they were like, yeah, certain individual's not working here anymore. So then she starts trying to cozy up to like, Newsmax and like One Nation News and just a lot of the alt-right on Twitter and everything. And she takes this spin of like, I was canceled, right? So she gets on Newsmax real quick, but she also just doesn't quite have the juice. You know what I mean by that? She doesn't quite have the like, the presence and the energy of like a real racist is gonna be a newscaster. You know what I mean? Like, she just doesn't have it. Like, when you're watching her, you're like, she's saying bad things and they're annoying, but I'm not angry. She just doesn't have the oomph to get me there. You know what I mean? Like, I've just never seen diet racism before, but that was it. So then she makes more videos trying to double down harder. And in these upcoming videos, she just gets way worse with it. Gets like even more bigoted with it. So she's tweeting the N-word all the time. She's been tweeting the N-word nonstop since she got fired, right? And now she's making videos where she's saying the F-word, right? And so she's just going after everybody, just trying to prove how terrible that she is, right? And so then she starts trying to cozy up to a lot of these, like, especially neo-Nazis as much as she can. And then a turn takes place. An incredible turn that I could not have predicted. One of the most insane things that has maybe happened so far this century, the neo-Nazis start rejecting her as a psyop. Because they feel what I feel. They see the video and they're like, you don't mean it though. Like, it's not... It's not like coming out of your stomach, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, you're not even saying it with bass, like, you don't. You know, like, and so then they were like, no, don't trust her, okay? Don't listen to her, don't follow her. She working for the CIA, she probably a Fed. They all turned on her. They started bullying her. It was absolutely insane. It was one of those things where then she keeps trying to cozy up to him. She keeps trying to like take pictures with him. She's going to events and stuff like that. And some of the ones that roll with her are rolling with her in real time, you know? And they're like making fun of how other people are making fun of her, but you can tell she's still not like in yet, you know? She's not like with them hard. But then there are some people that can't stand her so much. This happened like a week ago. So in the course of 3 days, they can't stand her so much that they start digging up her old tweets, right? So then another thing I never would have seen coming, they dig up her old tweets and they find old, not racist tweets from like 2 years ago where she was telling somebody, hey, that's actually appropriation. You might not want to do that. And so now she getting canceled by the neo-Nazis for old, not racist tweets. So then she over here fighting for her life, trying like N-word, F-word, everything, just throwing it all out there, trying to see what sticks. And then other people will comment under her on Twitter like, is this you, bitch? Miss Stolen Land? You know? And she just played it. She played it poorly. That's what happened. She could have had a real shot. She could have. But she doesn't have enough of the real. You can tell she's not really racist. I know it's a weird thing to say about somebody who's been saying the N-word nonstop for a week, but you can just tell she doesn't have the fire in her. You know, that's not how you do it. You were making racist people uncomfortable. There were racist people commenting under her like, this is uncouth. That's not how you do it. If you really want to be somebody as a racist, if you really want to make waves as a bigot, you start out slow. You start with a bunch of slow and steady dog whistles over decades. Yeah, I mean, you never say the word outright. You throw out a thug here every once in a while. You know what I mean? Every once in a while, like on a holiday, you can get real crazy with it. You can do like a animals or something. It's like, get people going, you know? Plant your feet, but don't dig too deep. And then after a while, you know, you start to ingratiate yourself. They start to be like, hey, she's one of us. And then they bring you in, and maybe they bring you in on a temporary basis, and they give you like a little guest spot every now and again. And then after a couple decades, you get a hosting gig, you know? Because be honest, like if a week from now, Megyn Kelly said the N-word, we'd be like, yup. We expected that. She's been earning it over decades. The expectation lands right on the strip perfectly. And then we also find out that she might be single, so you're not only not a trap wife, you're not a wife. What are you doing? Where's your man right now? Like you weren't a trap wife. You were working. You were a mom, but you were working, and you're a single working mom. That's a bigger demographic to appeal to. She really put herself in the position where she really needs a husband like this. Okay, this is like a contentious thing. So just stick with me for a second, because it's weird. It's weird that people are weird about it. Okay, so my friends are having kids, right? A lot of them are starting to have kids, so they're all having the conversation about like if they're gonna spank their kids, right? And people have very strong feelings either way. Some people think like, oh, you know, if it's rare and if it's warranted, then like a spanking here and there is not that bad. And then some people are like, no, this is full on abuse. This is like you're creating trauma and everything. And I'm not even telling anybody how to feel. Like I know that I was spanked when I was a kid, right? And it made sense that I was spanked because we were poor. Do you understand what I mean? Like, there was nothing to take away. You know? Like, there was a year that my mom and I shared a bedroom when I was a little kid. What was she gonna take away? The floor? She's like, rest of the month you float from now on. And if I catch you not floating, that's your ass, all right? Do you see what I mean? Because I was in a very weird position at one point because I didn't have much money, but I got a scholarship and my family pooled their money together to make the ends meet for me to go to this Catholic school, right? So I was a kid with no money going to school with kids with real money. Like money where they don't need to read. You know what I'm talking? You know that proper money that you can't mess up? You know that old money? And so, you know, I remember there was one time we were sitting around the lunch table and and this one kid, I said something about my mom, you know, like spanking me for something, and we were still in junior high or whatever. So I was talking about a time from before, you know, and then this other kid was like, "Oh, don't worry about it, Joe. You know, my dad still spanks me, right?" And I was like, "Ooh, Tyler, you have a pool. That's abuse." Do you see what I mean? Because Tyler, you live in the guest house. I've been over. You live in the guest. There's things to take away. My mama doesn't have an option. Like this is odd. Like that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's wrong. I'm sure it's steeped in generational trauma. Like I'm sure it is. I'm being sincere. I think that there's a thing where when you don't have means, right? When you don't have the extra time to think about the extra things, you don't think about the extra ways to like calm something. And I want to be clear, my mom had to spank me like a couple times in my entire life. So I'm not, over here like my mama did what she had to do. Like that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that genuinely, I think sometimes you see these different thought patterns because there are people who have the means and they have the access to things like, like family therapy and stuff like that. And then there are other people that work 3 jobs as a single parent to make ends meet, so they have to get to it quick. You know what I mean? And that's not even me saying it's like right or I always agree, because I think that it's hard to gauge. It's got to be very hard to gauge with like there's a thin line between a spanking and a beating. You know what I mean? Because if you spank good enough, you know what I mean? You gotta be real careful, because if you've ever been spanking a kid and anybody yells, "You got him," you already went too far. Like, But I don't know. I've thought about it a lot because, I got into an intense argument with my friend who was basically like, it's abuse every time, no matter what, no matter the circumstance, right? And then I was giving them a circumstance of like, look, maybe this kid isn't talking back. Maybe this kid was bullying another kid. Maybe this kid hit another kid, right? So then maybe their parent was like, you actually put your hands on someone, you hurt them. And so I'm going to do this thing now, not to like punish you because I'm going to enjoy it, but to show you like this is the way that you feel is the way that they felt. And I'm someone who loves you. So the world out there, they don't know you. So they may not love you. So this is a lesson that you might learn eventually from someone who doesn't care about you at all. And that's how I posed it to him. And he wasn't hearing it. And I get it. Because, everyone has their own experiences and stuff. But I feel like no matter your feelings on spanking, we've all met like a grown man that deserved to have their ass beat. And I think the thing for me is that could it have happened earlier? And I want to be clear here. I'm not like blanketing, co-signing anything. I'm asking questions genuinely. I'm asking questions because people are very split on it. You know what I mean? Like make some noise if you got spanked as a kid. Okay, so just roll with me here, right? So you got spanked as a kid. Now, make some noise if you spank your kid. But you see how some people are like, I got spanked and they really took their day out on me, so none of that for me. And then there are people that are like, I got spanked and I'm fine. And so I think I know how to gauge. So everybody has like vastly different approaches to it, But once again, we've all met a dude who like, damn. He really probably had it coming sooner than today. But then how do you gauge that, Because I get what some people are saying. Some people are like, look, this child is just trying to make their way, and they might not even respond to it the way. We're all individuals. So even though you have your kids and your kids have a part of you in them, they're still going to be different people. So then how do you make sure that this kid doesn't walk away with the worst lesson possible, the worst feeling possible from this thing that like worked out for you, but it might not work out for them? That's a scary thing, Like, I used to be like very nervous about moving to New York, right? I moved to New York years ago, and I remember when I got to Brooklyn, I saw a fight when I got there, and these were two kind of big guys. One guy was like medium sized, bigger than me, and he was muscular, and he looked like he knew how to fight because he did all the stances. He knew where to put his shoulders, put his fists, he could kick. He's either trained MMA and boxing or he's watched all the movies. Like this guy really knows how to move, right? And then the big guy was just a big guy. Like he was that, that type of big where you can't tell if it's fat or muscle? You just know it's in the way, right? You know that he can move things where he wants them to go. Just a big guy, right? And I don't know exactly what they were fighting about, but it felt like one of those fights. It felt like one of those fights where they really wanted to fight their dad. Have you ever been in a bar and then you see a fight like you can smell it brewing? And then you're also like, I think if you would like punched your dad years ago, none of this would be happening right now. Like if you just had one good row with him, this would be a quiet evening, right? They were going at each other, and some of it was punching, some of it was kicking. Now the guy that was like on the bigger side and muscular, he really knew his way around. Like he was even like doing the hop of someone who knows how to fight. You know that little light foot hop where you're like, they're about to get into it, okay? And then there was one moment, because I walked out of this bar because I was doing a show, like a bar show with my friends, and then we were all walking out, and we all saw this like happening. It would start on the sidewalk, and it spilled into the street, and basically, he's doing the hops, and then he goes for a lunge. He goes for like this big punch, right? And when he goes for the big punch, the big dude moves out of the way and grabs his wrist. And they both look at it. They both look at like, he grabs his wrist and looks at it, and then he looks at it like, uh-oh. And then he grabs his wrist, and with his other hand, he grabs the back of the dude's belt, right? Pulls him forward, knocks the guy pretty much off balance, lets go of the wrist, passes the belt to his other hand, lifts him up, and then spanked him in public. And like, I had never seen somebody with a beard get spanked before. Like, and he's really like floating and everything. And this guy is like letting them have it, right? Like one after the other. This dude spanked him so much he took a break. There was one point where he was holding him suspended in the air by his belt, but also like, and then after like the 36th lick, lets go of the belt, dude drops to the ground. He gets up and he sort of limps off, a lot of expletives and stuff, but it's kind of done. And this guy goes back into the bar we were just in, because he wasn't watching the show. The show was in like a back room. This guy was just in the bar, and I had no idea like what the fight was about, because once again, we had already walked out and it was already happening. But he walked back in, and I'm like, I'm a curious duck. You know what I mean? Like, so I go back in after him, and I'm like, hey man, are you okay? Which is a weird thing to ask him, but it's like, are you okay? What was all that about? And then he turns to me and goes, I look like a lot of dudes' dads. Wow, sir. That's an interesting thing to figure out about yourself. Because dude was like 30, but he just had that dad head. Like he had the dad bod of being big, but he had like a dad, like he had a full beard with like this part right here was doing a little bit of like Vegeta action. Like it was coming back a little bit, and he looked like he could be a dad, right? And so he's like, no, I just look like a lot of dudes' dads. And I was like, wow, how'd you find that out? And he was like, oh yeah, after the 4th or 5th fight, you start to put things together. And he told me that sometimes he goes to the bar with his friends, because his friends are with him, and they don't help because they know he can handle himself. And so go to the bar with his friends, and he's like, after a while, I can just tell some guy starts looking at me, and he's just giving me a look like you can tell he's a certain level of drunk, but he's looking at me like, huh. And then he comes and he starts jawing at me, and I can tell it's not about me because I was just sitting here. I wasn't doing anything. And then he wants to fight, and he either swings at me first or he says, let's go outside, but this happens pretty often. And I was like, wow, are you a dad though? And he was like, yeah. I was like, do you spank your kid? He was like, oh, no, I would never.
Make some noise for your friend and mine, Josh Johnson.
I don't know if y'all heard, by the way, but the Olympic Committee has decided to lift the intimacy ban in the Olympic Village, right? Yeah. Now, in case you didn't know, whenever people go to participate in the Olympics, right, especially for the Summer Olympics, they all stay in one big Olympic village together, and while they're there, they smash, all right? These are the best athletes in the world. In the peak of their physical prime, they're going to get it on, right? But Olympics is every 4 years, so 2024 Olympics means that last Olympics was that time we do not speak of, right? And in that time, they tried to have some semblance of the Olympics, and so they told the athletes, they were like, listen, something going around. The last thing we need is y'all making something new. So just come here, compete, go home, all right? But then you fast forward to present, 2024 Summer Olympics are in Paris, City of Love. Not only have they lifted the intimacy ban, they've committed to having 300,000 condoms in the Olympic Village. That's ambitious. 300,000 condoms. There's only 10,000 athletes. 300,000 condoms. Half the athletes are men. They expect 5,000 men to go through 300,000 condoms in the span of like 2 weeks. I am not an Olympic athlete. But on the night of my life, I went through 2. There is no way. That is too many condoms. That is too much pressure to put on these young men. It really is. They are already flying from around the world to win glory for their country. Now they gotta worry about putting a dent in their pile. That's not fair. It's too many condoms because you acting like all the athletes are gonna smash equally. They won't. Because you can be honest, when you think about the Summer Olympics, you think about the track stars, the swimmers, the gymnasts, the sexy athletes. Nobody's thinking about the equestrians. No one's like, he just ride that horse so good. I wonder what else he could. No one has said that ever. In fact, when you watch the sport, you're like, it seemed like the horse doing all the work. Oh. Like, it wouldn't be a problem if it was like maybe the Winter Olympics, you know? Winter Olympics could get through 300,000 easy. Right? First of all, they need the warmth, right? Second, if there's any athlete from any sport that could get through 300,000 condoms in a couple weeks, it's the curlers. People love to act like the curlers don't get any. That entire sport is foreplay, top to bottom, all right? Every time they're playing, every time they send that rock down the ice, what do they do? Every single time, just, oh. Nice and gentle to get it started, you know what I mean? And then they send it down to that other guy on the other side of the ice with the broom, and he just... doing it just right so it hits a specific spot. Am I the only one watching the sport? That's my big issue. I just feel like, how do I put this? Okay, I feel like when it comes to the summer sports versus the winter sports look really, really cool. And all the sports are hard to do. All the people that participate are athletes, right? I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just saying that the people who aren't athletes that do those things still look cooler when it's winter. Does that make sense? Like if you were snowboarding and then you accidentally hit some like slope and you do something cool in the air, people still gonna want to bang you when you land. But if you playing table tennis, there's just a lot of the summer sports that are very virgin adjacent is what I'm... do you know what I mean? Like the winter sports are like an event. Like even now, even in life, if you went on a trip and you're like, I'm going skiing, it's like, oh, you're going skiing. This is about to be dope, right? I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I do think that people who do like the shot put and stuff, those are very impressive athletes. But if you walked up to somebody in life and said, I throw, it doesn't hit the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's just activities that are very impressive when the athletes do them, but if you're not an athlete, it's not impressive. Even the javelin. You look at the javelin, when an Olympic athlete does it, when they walk up and they do that, and then they like blah, blah, and then it just goes forever. Wow. When you see like a regular guy do it. I was in high school and I saw, okay, it was a kid. He was supposed to be the best one at this other school because I wasn't on the track team, but I was like adjacent to the team. Like if somebody got hurt, they would let me run. But they knew I wouldn't win, so it was just to appease me because I kept coming to all the meets and I kept dressing out like I was one of them. But they were like, "You slow, you can't be with us." But I was like, "Yeah, but sometimes y'all trip, and one of these days it's gonna be my time to shine." And they were like, "Yeah, but the other kids will still be fast." And I was like, we'll worry about that bridge when we cross it, right? But anyway, there was a meet where this kid had a javelin, and this was a bad track meet to begin with because they had everybody doing everything at the same time, right? And so then they had some of the kids running to qualify at the same time as kids were throwing the shot put and stuff. Now, people weren't really that strong, so things weren't going that far, but there was this one kid that was very good, and then he threw the javelin, and then he threw the javelin, and then you just heard and there's no way to catch a javelin in your body that doesn't make it look like you shouldn't be dead. Like, because it hit this kid in the leg, like it hit just in the leg, right? Which is incredibly painful, but it's so much stick hanging out the leg, it's like, how did it not go through your leg? I don't think you dying right now. You should have, like if this was war, if this is the movie, you'd be, you know what I mean? You just over here, you know what I mean? I feel like what I'm saying is starting to make sense. I feel like you're getting it. It's that the summer sports just have so much range. You know what I mean? Like in winter sports, there's like bobsled or something. Bobsled still very cool, going super fast. And then you get to the end. Even if you last place, you went so fast, there's somebody at the finish line that's like, what are you doing later? Like, you know? But if you're the discus at the Summer Olympic and it just, you throw your hardest, right? You throw it as far as you can, and then it just go, and then it doesn't hit that line, right? Because they already have the line of what would be impressive. This impressive line right here, if you get it past that, people go, ooh. If you get low, people are like, oh. And then you threw it as hard as you could, and then, oh. You going home alone. That's just the way it's going to work. But I hope it works out for the summer athletes. I really do. I hope they get it on. Because selfishly, I want to see what some Olympic-made babies look like. You know what I mean? Like a medalist in judo and a medalist in the high jump. That sound like how you make a superhero. You know what I mean? Oh, I hope they smash to their heart's delight. I really do. I want to see any like mixing. Like gold can't get with bronze. All right? Like, we might not be making a winner. All right? I think family is incredibly important, right? But it does suck. Like, here's the thing. I don't know how to describe this. And this is not a perfect I haven't thought it all the way through. So I haven't actually thought of a solution. I really am just up here complaining, okay? But it does feel upsetting sometimes that when you marry, like I've watched a lot of my friends get married, right? And when you marry, you're in the family, but you just wanted them. Do you know what I mean? Like you love them, and then a bunch of people you don't know are like, no, us too. We all go together now. Inseparable. We're family. You know? And sometimes it works out beautifully. Like sometimes you meet someone, you fall in love, and their family is also delightful. And that's very sweet. I love that. I love that for my friends. I love that for my family members as that's happened to. But then sometimes you meet someone and y'all fall in love, and then you get introduced to people that you're like, ooh, I don't want to have anything to do with... I don't want to have anything to do with what you got going on. Like, that's not why I came. You know what I mean? It feels like going to a restaurant, right? And being like, oh, I'll get the wings. And they're like, and you'll have the burger. And you're like, I can really only fit wings, right? And that's why I only ordered the wing. No, trust me, the burger comes with the wings. And if you don't have a sufficient amount of burger, the wings will get mad, all right? The wings will be like, why don't you care about my burger, right? And you'll be like, I just wanted you. I didn't sign up for burger. I just wanted... I don't even like beef like that. Like, I just wanted some chicken wings. And you're great. It's like, yeah, but the beef... And we were raised together. Like, we should... all find a way to get along. And you're like, this metaphor has run out. No, I just look, I've watched it happen, and it seems like a real bummer. It seems like, because, you know, that your friends will tell you about it. They'll tell you about what's going on, and it'll be some in-law and something, and they're not getting along. And I'm like, man, that's because you can't even really yell at them good because they're not actually your family. Do you know what I mean? Like, at a certain amount of yell, like if it's your brother, your sister, you can let somebody have it. Y'all grew up together, and even if you were in separate households or whatever, you can still that's your bloodline. You can be like, you're an idiot, right? When you put in law on the back end, it just takes all the juice out of... Like, some people still have a very good relationship, and I love that for them. But some people are like, my brother-in-law is a real... He's... You just want to choke. He's... It's not even just... It's... Sometimes I dream about just punch the back of his head until I just pull back. The knuckles are just mush. I hate him so much, I don't even have words. And then you have to be like, but that's your brother, but not, right? Oh, one of the most interesting cases of it I'd seen was, okay, so this kid from my hometown got married young, right? So they got married like almost right out of high school. So they're like 19 and stuff. And they want to be married to each other, but they're weirdly self-aware that they don't really have the resources to start a life, right? So they just married at home. Like, they didn't have to do this at all, right? But they spend a lot of time at her grandma's house. Now, they're married, right? But then the grandma got remarried because the granddad had been gone for a while, and the grandma could still get it, right? So So she was out getting it, right? And so, you know, she was out playing the field and everything, and then she found somebody to settle down with. Yeah, like settle concrete with, right? Because this is the last one, right? And it's like, and so she found somebody, and then, you know, that guy is now hanging out around the grandma. Now, his wife loves her grandma, loves hanging out with her and everything, so they're over at the house a lot. But he has a very weird situation because he has an in-law now, right? The grandma is his in-law, but she just got married again. So now this guy is like a step-granddaddy. And if you think things can be fraught with a stepfather, a step-granddaddy cares so little about you. Because he's like, I almost didn't meet you. Like, I don't, like, everybody grown. Like, we don't have to be talking right now. And so he had a step-granddaddy kind of in-law, right? I've lost how this works. But all I know is he didn't have a in-law granddaddy, but then that stepped in, so now he's the step granddaddy, and that guy's name is Earl, and Earl is a dick, right? Earl using all the time he have left to just be an asshole. Which normally I would be on board with, but it was happening to my friend, so it was just kind of funny. Like Earl would be watching TV, and then they come over, and he still want to watch his show. And then he would say, because the grandma was never watching TV, she was always cooking or doing something, right? So it would just be him and Earl sometimes in the room while she was chilling with her grandma. And he'd be like, hey, can we watch like anything else? Because Earl would love to watch like Star Trek, stuff like that. And he's like, can we just watch the news, anything that's happening, right? Besides this. And Earl would be like, yeah, sure. And then he would get up and like go to the bathroom or something. But what he had done when he was getting up was he snuck the batteries out the remote and put them back and gave them to my friend. So now he just pressing, thinking that the TV not working. You could have said no. Yeah. There's at a certain point you're like, man, why are you here? Why am I here? Why are we doing this? And Earl had he had this raspy voice. I say he's still alive. He had this super raspy voice where he'd be like, so y'all just gonna stay for dinner? Eating up all the food. Earl didn't even cook. Her grandma cooked. But he would still get he would watch my buddy eat and hate watch him eat. He got the same food on his plate, by the way. This is how you know Earl a true hater from the core. Because he eating the same... It's not like my friend has something delicious he can't have. He just hates that this dude also has cornbread. So he's like... staring him down. Nastiest thing Earl ever did was Earl was like in a chair for a little while, right? And he had like twisted his ankle, and so he was in like a little wheelchair, right? And he wasn't leaving the house much. But one time it was him and my buddy in the room. And without saying a word, they just watching Star Trek. He given up on trying to switch shows and stuff like that. He's like, when I'm with Earl, I'm just going to watch Star Trek, and that's it, right? Earl leans until he tips out of his wheelchair, and he laying on the ground. And when everybody come in, he pointed to my buddy. He was like, why would you push me like that? Speaking of honeymoons ending, this Jonathan Majors. Wow.
There's so much about it, so you just be patient with me. I've been waiting to even talk about it because I wanted to learn as much as I could. I'm still missing stuff. Admittedly, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to get this right. There's so much media around it. I don't even mean coverage. I mean actual media. There's a tape of him being recorded. There's CCTV of them. There's a lot going. There's body cam footage. There's a lot to distill. I felt like I was part of the jury. You know what I mean? I was like, damn, how do I stay impartial? All of this looks so bad. You know what I mean? Like, you take the CCTV alone. We don't know what happened in the car, but apparently in the car is when she scratched up his face and it's when he hurt her finger. All we see is CCTV of him getting out the car and then her trying to get out the car, right? Because in this moment, she's discovered that he's cheating. All right? So now he's trying to get out of the car. She's trying to get out of the car. He picks her up and puts her back in the car like a toddler, right? Like he just sort of lifts her up and is like, there, right? And then this man took off. He ran. He ran like it was the full caution sign. That's the last time I've seen somebody have a foot that high and a head that forward. And my man was over here like, huh, like it just fully running. And that's how you can tell he cheated too, because he running like a cheater. He running like, no, I gotta get out of here. I can't be here right now. She saw a text message, you know? And then she took off and she ran after him. And she caught up. And that shocked me. She caught up. This nigga trained for Creed 3, and she caught up in heels like it was nothing. That's crazy. I didn't know getting cheated on gave you superpowers, because this dude is booking it, and she right behind him, clickety-clacking it in those heels, trying to get that phone, right? And so then you just see another CCTV angle, and you see him running the other way. And this time, it's scarier, because this time, she not running. This time, she's stalking him like Jason, just... And she a little drunk, too, so she looked like she gonna fall. I'm like, he really didn't need to run anymore, but clearly he did. She still caught up to him. This man ran his knees off, and she just over here... And then they run into like 3 random people, and then she did the thing that I think a lot of people do when they're in like the midst of like, maybe they're a little drunk, they just found out they got cheated on or something's going on in their relationship or something. So she meets these 3 people who don't know them, who do not, I cannot stress that enough, who do not seem to know them at all. And she's like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna hang out with my new friends. And then she just becomes these 3 people's problem. And then John Majors seemed to walk off, right? Seemed to just walk off into the night. So it's like that. Take that video alone, right? It's hard to decide how you feel about that, because in my mind, I'm just being honest, right? Just hear me out. In my mind, I don't know what else he should have done, because everything he should have done happened before that night. He shouldn't have cheated. If he didn't cheat, maybe none of this would have happened. But he cheated. I'm saying in the night in question, in this moment, he runs. He runs. He's out of cardio. Like, this is... Like, she clearly should have played Apollo Creed. If she tuckered him out that easy, then you go to the next day. Because the next day is when he finds her in the closet. Yeah. This dude comes home, and he finds her in the closet. And look, Jonathan Majors is too big and black to find any white woman. That's astounding. The fact that because now he's the one that called the cops. To my understanding, he's the one that called cops being like, hey,
That's the only time I've seen someone call the cops, and you can hear it in his voice where he's like, I'm gonna need you to sit down. Before you send anybody, I need you to hear the full sentences I'm saying. Because this is gonna look bad, right? And then the cops come and then they lift her up and everything, and someone can correct me, I don't know what happened in this particular part. It seems like she came home and she was like maybe changing or whatever and then fell asleep in the closet because it's like a walk-in closet. I don't really know what happened there. But then you hear Jonathan talk about it in an interview that he shouldn't have done. This interview was a bad idea. I'm not saying I would have any good ideas if I was him, but I'm just saying this interview was pretty bad because they ask him, how she sustained those injuries to her finger and all stuff like that. And then Jonathan Majors says, I wish to God I knew. Nigga, you were there. Like, I know you don't think you did it, but like, whatever. So then in the interview, they're cutting between his interview and then pieces about him. They're using scenes from him in movies. And then they use a recording where he is arguing with her, right? And this is a big thing for me. This is a huge thing. And I hope it doesn't spill out into the rest of the world because a lot of celebrities do it. And I pray that we don't get to the point where we're doing it. If you need to secretly record anyone you are dating, break up with them. Please. Because this is my thing. Say what you want about her, say what you want about him. They clearly had a toxic dynamic. They had a bad dynamic from what seems like the start, right? And so for her to be recording him secretly means that she knows something's up with him. So leave, leave. And I'm not saying leave as if it's easy. I'm not saying leave as in you should just always feel safe to leave. I'm just saying you need to start coming up with an exit strategy. Because then the recording is one of the worst recordings. It feels like right out of Law and Order, the recording. The recording is so damn bad. Okay, so basically, I don't really know the context of the recording. It sounds like from the recording that she came home drunk or she was acting up drunk or something like that, which apparently in their dynamic she had been known to do, right? So there's some, I don't even know if this is true, that maybe this is hearsay, but there was some instance where out of nowhere, one of the reasons a lot of people told him to break up with her is that she was drunk at a party one time. They had some sort of argument and she hauled off and slapped him in front of everybody, right? In front of everybody at the party just, and like a real like telegraphed the whole shit. I couldn't believe he got hit. I was like, all that Creed 3 and you don't know how to box? You over here just eating shots? That's crazy. That's boxing 101. Somebody does this, you do this. I'm not even a fighter and I know that. I'm just saying, she, whatever. I don't know what actually happened. All I know is the recording starts with him being like, listen, I'm doing a lot right now. I'm doing a lot for my people. I'm doing a lot for the culture. I am a great man. Give me a second. I think I can honestly say in a lot of relationships I've watched, especially like just straight relationships, there is a point where a guy feels, not even saying it's right, underappreciated for being maybe even a good boyfriend or good husband, right? And they will say something to try to stick up for how they feel in the moment. They'll be like, look, I'm a great guy. Most guys aren't like me out there. You know, they'll say something to try to save it. And in the moment, it always doesn't. It never sounds the way it's like in your head. It sounds like it's evening the playing field. Like in your head, you're like, I can't believe you're coming down on me so hard. I'm a good boyfriend. I'm a great boyfriend. You know that? I'm such a good boyfriend. Your friends say I'm a great boyfriend to you when they don't think I can hear it, and I hear it, and I take that to the moon, and I'm using it now. That's what it sounds like in our head. What it sounds like out loud when you're in the middle of an argument is, I'm a great man. The fact that he actually said, I am a great man. And look, I don't know what it's like to date either one of them. I'm just going off of what we've seen and what I've seen that has happened, right? I don't know what it's like to date either one. I'm just saying I can see how you're in the moment and you really think you're cooking. But it should be a sign to you that the person that you're like just going off on is saying nothing. And look, if I'm being honest with you, when I listen to that recording, I do think it's a little bit of a setup because she says nothing, right? And you can tell she a little drunk too, because the only thing you can hear is like him being like, I'm a great man, and her being like, ugh. You know what I mean? Like if you listen real close, you can hear a couple hiccups. I'm not saying that gives him the right to be over here. I'm a great man, you know, like. And look, to be fair, maybe she was just recording him because he kept telling her to be like Ketta, and she had no fucking idea what that meant. She's like, I'm a white woman that was born in the UK. I don't know how to connect these two things. Be more like Ketta. And then in the interview, he's like, look, when I said that, I wasn't comparing myself to Dr. King. I was just trying to say that these are the people I aspire to be. And so if I'm going to get there, I need someone like her to help me get there. And I'm like, all right, but you did say Ketta. Like, you know what I mean? It'd be different if he was just like, I need you to do better. I need you to do better sounds, outside looking in, sounds completely fair. I need you to do better. I need you to do better than getting drunk at functions that I'm with that I'm trying to network. I need you to do better than slapping me in my face in front of a bunch of people. I just need you to do better. There's a huge amount of middle ground. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it would be like my girlfriend being like, listen, you do not help enough around the house. I get that you tour, I get that you have shows at night, but I need your help around the house, all right? So when you're about to go, just take the trash out with you. That's a simple thing that you can do. Just take the trash out with you. Just do a little better. She didn't say, I need you to be Malcolm X. Do you see the difference? It's also just, I don't know. That the thing that really bothers me about Jonathan Majors is that he didn't make it. He made it. All this happened after he made it. And it's so hard. And like even take away for a second being a black actor. Take away for a second where he comes from. It's hard in general. This is like the NFL of drama. And he made it. And then this happens, you know? And he has nobody to blame but himself. Just like it's a lesson to all of us. If there's something that you want more than anything else, you cannot let other things get in the way of that thing, especially when they don't bring you anything good, you know? And some people made it purely about race. I don't think that Jonathan Majors is a lesson that you need to date within your own race. I think he's a lesson you need to date within your own weight class, because Because the optics are terrible, all right? Jonathan Majors is 34 years old. Jonathan Majors is 34. That blew my mind. He's 34. We're closer in age than I ever thought. He's 34. And he doesn't look 34. That man looked 46 from 1958. Every time I see Jonathan Majors, I'm like, he should be in sepia tone. And people, and look, I want to be clear for a second. A lot of people had a weird, and I'm talking about outside of all this stuff before any of it ever happened. A lot of people had a weird hate for him that I didn't understand, and they went out of their way to call him ugly, and they went out of their way to just like go at his features and stuff like that. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying he does look like a time traveler, all right? Like if he told me he knew Dr. King personally and that he had a time machine, I'd be like, no wonder you want everybody to be like a Ketta. You know her so well. I don't know if y'all saw what's been going on in the House of Representatives, but they had it out. Ooh, that was better than Real Housewives. I'm not gonna lie, that was pretty good. Okay, in case you didn't see what happened, basically they were having a committee hearing, and I don't really know how they work. They use certain rules of order where they're like point of order, and there's like this moderator that doesn't do his job and stuff, and basically. Representative, I think her name was Jasmine Crockett, said to Marjorie Taylor Greene, she's like, do you know what we're talking about right now? Do you know what we're here for? And then Marjorie Taylor Greene said, I do know what we're here for. Do you know what we're here for? Because those fake eyelashes might be messing up your reading. And immediately, everyone had a reaction, and AOC was the one to be like, hey, can we strike this from the record? You can't do this. Like, this is crazy. You're not supposed to engage in personal attacks on appearance or personality during a hearing. Like, you have to have some form of order, right? And then the person that runs the committee that doesn't do his job was just sort of ignoring her. So then, they let it go. But before that, Marjorie Taylor turns to AOC and she's like, did I hurt your feelings or something? And then AOC said, girl, no. Baby girl, no. In case you aren't familiar, all right, a girl followed by a baby girl is equivalent to showing a Glock. I've never had a woman tell another woman in front of me, girl, baby girl, without something happening next. That's because it's such gentle language. Because there's two women talking to each other. So girl implies like my girl, hey girl, you know what I mean? Girl, and then baby girl. Baby girl is smaller than girl. Baby girl comes from an even gentler place, but is somehow much more violent. Baby girl. I'll put it this way. Girl is hair. Girl is, snatching up someone by their hair. Baby girl is choke. Baby girl is hands around the throat. One hand is baby, the other is girl. Baby girl. Whew. And then later, Representative Jasmine just asked the leader, the one who doesn't do his job. She was like, hey, I just want to check, just so I know the rules. I want to check if I were to say something about somebody's beach, blonde, bad built, botched body. And to be fair, look, I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what she said, because some people are like bad beach blonde, bad built butch body, or beach blonde, bad built botched body. Either way, it's a bop. Either way, it's and that was like kind of off the dome. That was incredible. That was one of those things where I was reading it. I've never read like a news magazine before and been like, beach, blonde, bad built, butch, Man, get Metro Boomin on that one. That's crazy. So I don't know exactly what she said, but she was like, if I were to mention somebody's beach, blonde, bad built, botched body, would that be engaging in personality attacks? And then a bunch of people on the Republican side made the same noise as the Democratic side before. And then they were like, this is not the time, blah, blah. And then Jasmine was like, no. Because y'all love to dish it out, but you can't take it. And then the article ended. And I was like, that's the problem with journalism today. That's what... Now I gotta go watch C-SPAN to see how it ended. I feel like one of the main things that I miss from being a kid is ooh. Do y'all remember ooh? Do y'all remember like ooh? What an incredible experience. Ooh is beautiful. You know what's so beautiful about it? It's one of those like communal experiences. No one teaches you how to do ooh when you're a kid. You know what I mean? No one sits you down and sometimes you're gonna want to clap, and sometimes you're gonna be like, ooh. Like, no, your parents never give you a talk like that. You just are a kid, and then maybe you're talking in class, everybody's talking in class, and then the teacher gets frustrated, turns around, points out one kid and goes, Mr. Perkins, and then all the kids go, ooh. It's beautiful. It's almost like a religious experience that you're having outside of church, you know what I mean? Everybody knew to do it at the same time. Like starting a good slow clap. When a real slow clap happens, you're like, wow, we really did it, y'all. Ooh is beautiful. And then as you get older, ooh starts to go away a little bit. You know, because we all have different experiences. When you're a kid, most kids have the same general big fears, right? Getting called out in the middle of class, getting embarrassed, something happening, somebody. But as you get older, everything starts to splinter off. Everything goes in different directions, and so one person's ooh is another person's nothing, right? It's very hard as an adult to have an ooh experience, so I treasure them now when I have them. It's beautiful. Like I was walking down the street one day, and I was passing this bar, and there was a woman yelling at her boyfriend to the point that a crowd had gathered. Like it really felt like a street performance, the way that she was taking him to task. And she was like, I had 1 day off, JR. I had 1 day off and you ruined it. And he's like, I'm sorry. No, sorry's not enough. This has happened so many times. I have 1 day off, JR, and you ruined it. And then out of nowhere, she just swung and slapped him, right? Slapped him from everybody, and everybody was like, ooh. And just like that, I was like, wow, I'm back in it. This is incredible. I went to a friend's wedding a while back, and the thing that was amazing to me about this wedding is just how personal it was, right? So it was a smaller wedding, so it wasn't like a huge room or anything, and the groom got his best friend to officiate the wedding, right? And I think that's kind of cool. You know, some people want someone, like if they have it at a church, they want like their pastor to do it, but just someone that makes it special, right? And then the couple, they wrote their own vows, which I also thought was pretty cool because it was very specific stuff to them that was like cute and was funny and stuff like that. And you can tell that the friend officiating was nervous because he was holding the mic, but it was like shaking in his hand, everything. It was all very, very sweet, right? And then it got that time to, you know, say like, do you take, and everything. And then, you know, Buddy looks at the groom and says, do you take Ashley to be your lawfully wedded wife? But Ashley was the groom's ex's name. Doesn't it just feel good to just let it out? Oh. You know, I don't know, admittedly, I don't know much about dating, but I do know white people. And the weather has a real effect on y'all. It's a nice day out, and every person I made eye contact with has told me. Y'all saw the sunlight today. You were delighted. I was outside, and somebody walked up to me outside and was like, "What a day." You know, and maybe it's just the New Yorker, but I was like, "Nah, I know, it's very good." They were like, "Nah, this is great." And in my head, I'm like, does it rain every other day or something? Good to know. No, I was happy for everyone. Everybody was having such a good time. You know, it's like the weather today felt like when your friend wants you to see a movie really bad, and then they watch it with you, but they watching you watch the movie to make sure you're enjoying it as much as. But then you're like, "But I see it," and they're like, "No, but are you paying attention?" It's like, you not paying attention. You looking at me. There were a couple people I was concerned about. You know what I mean? Because there were a couple people. I was at the hotel, you know, I was chilling with Logan. We were about to go get something to eat. And there was one guy that was so happy, he got upset. You know what I mean? Like we saw him, you know, past him on the way out of the elevator. He's like, it's a really nice day. I was like, "Oh, buddy, it sounds like you needed this one. This was... It sounded like one more day of rain, something was gonna happen, all right?" I can see that same dude looking out the window. If I see another drop of rain, everybody dying. Then the clouds broke and he was like, yes, yes, yes. Because I was enjoying the weather too. I just didn't feel like I was doing a good enough job. Okay, you know, like when you go to like Six Flags or something and you having fun, but your friend is having the best time ever, to where you're like, "I don't think we at the same place." You know, like y'all both walking up to the line for the Batman ride. And I guess it's just perspective. I guess it's just that when I walk up to the line, I see how long the line is. I'm like, "Oh, we gonna be standing here for 45 minutes. But he's looking up at the ride like, "Batman." I'm like, "Yeah, buddy, yeah. Yeah, Batman, and we'll be there in 45 minutes. Oh. I had a realization that I'm getting older now, and as a man, like as a grown man, I'm actually too old now to get kidnapped. Like if I got snatched on the street and then they held me for ransom, as just, you know, as a man, you'd be like, "Nah, I live with y'all now. Like I can't." You can't send me back. That's too embarrassing. I just got snatched up like I was waiting for my mom after school. Y'all got me. We good. I'm part of the gang now. Don't. Yeah, send me back. Imagine, there's actually a statistic that nobody talks about. Thousands, I'm telling you, thousands of men go missing every year. We don't look, but thousands of men go missing. And I think it was 2021 where men going missing outpaced women going missing, right? And It's like an insane stat. When I was reading it, I didn't believe it. I was like, how is that possible? But I think it's because men know when they get snatched up, they're like, bro, just kill me. Because I can't go back now. Imagine you a grown man with a family, right? You a grown man with children, and you got kidnapped, and then you come home. And try to be the patriarch of your family, knowing you were a kidnapped man. You know what I mean? Knowing you a diet man, knowing you light. Standing there over your kid, telling him not to talk to strangers, and then your 8-year-old go. Well, Dad, between the two of us, I'm not the one that's been snatched up before. I'm not the one that's walking around irresponsibly. Oh, thank you. That's very kind. Nah, I hope I can back it up. Oh, Lord. Uh-oh. No, this is the thing. I have not been to St. Louis much, but I got in last night, and I've had a great time so far. You have a beautiful, beautiful city. You have a beautiful museum. Lots of stolen art. Lots of, like, y'all got it good. Like, I was looking around like, wow, that's from Egypt. Oof. And he really in there too. That's crazy. Oh, I had some great pancakes. You know, this has been wonderful, and the people here are incredibly sweet, incredibly nice. Yeah, this is like. But y'all have some. Y'all do have some demons, all right? Like, this is chaotic. Like, y'all have the Midwest nice on lock. I'm just saying, a cut below that. Like, a paper cut below that. Y'all are wildin'. Like, so I flew in. I didn't have a car, so I've taken like 4 Ubers since I've been here for very short trips, right? Very short. We're talking less than $10 trips, just over here to over here, because I don't know if I'm gonna make it on foot, right? Like, this is not the most walkable city. Like, I walked out of my hotel thinking like, I'll just take a walk, and I looked both ways, and I looked, and the way that this truck zoomed past me, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and order, you know, just so I have some armor around me. And the dude driving couldn't have been nicer. I get in, he's like, Josh. I was like, yeah, wow, you really excited, like you know me. That's crazy. Excited to see you. I get in and we're talking about the day and everything. And then I don't know, like truly out of nowhere, my man just looks ahead and his whole face changes, and he yells out in the car. So his windows aren't down. Nobody can hear him but me. This is for nobody but him and I. This man goes, it doesn't take 2 lanes to turn right. And I don't know if this is how everybody is driving. I don't know if this is like the 4th time this has happened today. But the way he snapped, I thought he was going to get out of the car. And not like stop the car and get the other guy to stop and get out and fight. I mean Mission Impossible, leave me behind. Get out of the window while the wheel is still turning. This has been, oh wow. Like, y'all really have some people out here where I'm like, okay, all right. That's a real New Yorker. You just don't know it. Like, you've been raised here. So then you're like, no, let's be polite, make eye contact and everything. But then the way that just, there was a guy, okay, so it wasn't even, like, y'all don't have the busiest walkways, okay? So there's only I was walking today. Everybody else was in a vehicle. And so I saw these two guys. I can't remember the name of the grocery store now, but like I was in the grocery store and these two guys bumped into each other and they both like over apologized, right? They both bumped in and he was, I'm sorry, and the other guy was like, I'm so sorry, brother. I mean, I wasn't even paying attention to you. And he's like, well, what's on your mind, buddy? And he's like, I just been going through a lot, you know what I mean? Other man was like, well, you know, this is what the grocery store's for, to meet people, to talk about things. I was like in the distance just getting disgusted. I was like, when are y'all gonna fight already? This is gross. Did y'all have a good Halloween? No? Okay. I know it's over, but I'm like the opposite. I talk about Halloween and watch horror movies way longer after Halloween is over. I'm like the opposite of the Christmas people, because some of the Christmas people have already started. They've already broken out for Mariah Carey. They've already done certain stuff, and I'm still stuck on Halloween. It was one of my favorite holidays growing up. And my grandma would sometimes take me trick-or-treating. And my grandma was one of my favorite people. And I remember it was one year she took me, I think I dressed up as Superman or something, and she had me, and she loved to take me places. This is one of my core memories, right? My grandma sees me in my little Superman outfit, and she's like, you go, Superman. And then I did a little cape thing. I was like, yeah. And then she's got me hand in hand, and we decided to, go to a couple houses, go trick-or-treating. Now, this was not the best neighborhood, so there was going to be very little trick-or-treating, period. Like, this is already, anybody who's from a place that is not where you want to stay knows what I'm talking about. So we go up to the first house, and I knock on the door. They open my trick-or-treat, and then they give me a little, maybe 2-3 pieces of candy. And then in the distance, we hear some gunshots. And then my grandma was like, can you give them a couple extra pieces? Because we gonna go back home right now. So this really is, not to put all the pressure on you, but like, come to think about it, you don't want to be opening your door that much tonight, so you might as well just give him the bag. I mean, and so we went back to my grandma's house, and I'm sitting there, and like part of the joy trick-or-treat isn't just getting the candy. It's like going places, having the adults be like, oh, Superman, I had no idea, or whatever. Just the whole experience. And so the fact that I wasn't gonna get to do it, I was bummed out. I was like 8. I was just bummed out, right? And so after maybe 10 minutes passed, I turned to my grandma. I'm like, Grandma, are you sure we can't go back out and trick-or-treat? And I don't know if y'all who grew up in the South here, but Southern grandmas especially, they turn on you. Very, very sweet people, but as soon as you like cross, they just turn, right? So I'm like, Grandma, can't we go trick-or-treat just for a little while, And my grandma turns to me, she's like, boy, are you stupid? Are you stupid? Did you not hear the gunshot? And then she made me sit there with her, right? And this took all 5 minutes. I don't want you to think she was torturing me or anything. But she sat with me there for 5 minutes and just made me count out the gunshots with her. And every once in a while, my grandma would be like, that's you? That's you too. My grandma cracked me up because, especially anybody who has grandparents knows that in one form or another, your grandparents have lived long enough that they have some arch nemesis out there. They take different forms, but there was this one person that was one of my grandma's arch nemesis. We still don't know who it is, but they would come every Halloween to trick or treat, and my grandma hated that. She never wanted to give them candy because she was like, "That's an adult, right? He little, but that's an adult. I know an adult when I see one." And then even I was kind of like, "Come on, just this the holiday and everything." She's like, "No, he grown, okay? I don't care how little he is, he grown. There's a holiday for the children. How he come every year and the same thing don't grow, all right? That's an adult." But Halloween also has its downsides, you know? Like I had years when I lived in Chicago, people would come and trick or treat. And there was one year that I heard the trick or treat and I opened the door and it couldn't have been a bigger man. Like it was, I was looking at him and he was looking down at me and he had a bag, but it wasn't even a bag, he had a pillowcase. And he was like, "Trick or treat." And like, I'm not even kidding, the dude, okay, so open door, the pillowcase is out, right? Like, "Trick or treat." And then we stared at each other and after a while he was just like, and I'm trying to look behind him for a kid or something. I'm like, "Oh, do you have any kids?" He's like, "Nah, it's just me, dog." You know what I mean? He looked like he robbed the candy, you know what I mean? Like, and now I got my door all open, my apartment exposed. You know, and so I was like, oh, you know, try and make conversation while I fiddle for these mini-sized Snickers. Like, you know how when you know, okay, let's say you are in a parking lot and there's somebody chasing you like Freddy Krueger style and you try to get the keys and the keys won't be keys. See what I'm talking about? Where you like struggling, you're like, "Come on now, come on." It's not even about the key, getting the key in the keyhole. It's about getting the keys in your hands, like getting some purchase on the keys. Like you're like, "Come on, come on." It was like that with the Snickers. None of the Snickers wanted to stay in my hand. I think I had sweat so much from how big this man was that all the Snickers are slipping. So I'm just in my little in the Snickers bag, trying to get a handful, and they just keep slipping through my fingers like they ain't all melted or something. And I'm trying to make conversation like, "What? So when are you supposed to be?" And he was, this is the coldest shit I've ever heard in my life. He was really terrified. He looked at me, he was like, "What am I supposed to be?" "I'm trick-or-treating." I was like, oh God, take the bag, take the bag. Take the whole bag. Oh my God. I've never heard trick-or-treat used as this is what I'm going as. Truly jarring. I don't know if y'all saw, but Sam Bankman-Fried was found guilty on all charges. If you don't know who Sam Bankman-Fried is, he's the dude who looked like somebody microwave Shia LaBeouf. He was behind a multi-billion-dollar crypto scandal, and took a lot of people's money. Had a lot of powerful friends, so he could take a lot of people's money. He was found guilty, and he made a serious mistake. He stole money from rich people. Well, when you think about it, it's really all he did wrong. If you steal from the poor, you're going to be pretty good off. Like, I don't know. This dude is going to go away for a long time. Which is crazy, because I don't really understand what he did. But I'm glad he didn't do it to me. I'm like, you ever just, because I never got into crypto because I didn't understand it. So you ever just be so dumb you miss a whole tragedy? Because I saw the whole thing coming. I was having FOMO and everything. And then everybody started losing their money. I was like, maybe it pays to not read sometimes. Maybe it's to my benefit that I have stayed as ignorant as possible on very specific subjects in life.
He was named one of Comedy Central's New Faces to Watch, has been featured on season 1 of Kevin Hart's Heart of the City. Please welcome Josh Johnson.
I grew up in Louisiana. Yeah, see. Whenever I do that, some people will woo, but that's for New Orleans, which